Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone this evening. Thank you for joining us here on Old Gray Bricks for our Thursday broadcast. And if you were watching us on Twitch, I got an alert that says we are not broadcasting to Twitch. So the ones of viewers that have been on Twitch to watch us are going to be disappointed. So hello in the chat to Old and Shirley. Hello, Brian Anderson. Hello, Axel Plate. Hello, Battery Power Bricks. Good to see you. First space shuttle theme set. Yeah, hey, cool deal, man. I'm glad you Old and Shirley has the Galaxy Explorer. Congratulations. Welcome. Welcome.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Battery Power Bricks. Did you make it okay through the hurricane? I think you did since you're talking to us, but I wanted to check on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's over in a place close to home.
Gotcha. How did you do there, Bricksmith? Did y'all have any bad weather?
I took a nap. What else are you supposed to do during a hurricane?
Hey, Triple D, how are you? Triple D, honey, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
So in particular, Brian Anderson, who's in the chat right now, I had I think 2 breakfasts, maybe 3 breakfasts with him at the hotel in Salt Lake. So got to know him a lot better. And he's from the great state of Washington, out there on the West Coast. And we were talking about just, YouTube shows and that kind of stuff. And he's gotten at least back into the hobby in recent years. I want to say maybe 2018-ish when he got back into it. But one comment that he made was he said there was one particular episode that we had in the past where we started talking about lugs and people were asking questions in the chat. And he said that he found that very informative, that he didn't really understand why lugs were useful or what they provided. So I was telling Brian that when Chris here first suggested that people would actually watch the 4 of us just chat about stuff on YouTube, that I was somewhat skeptical that anyone would. and here we are a couple years later, we're still chatting about Lego on YouTube. And then I also was skeptical that we would actually, communicate or teach anyone anything about it. But he was like, that was a useful episode. So, there you go. I was wrong twice. But it was really great to meet a few people who are viewers of Old Gray Bricks that I never met in person. And I think one of the cool things for me personally going out to Salt Lake, I know Mr. Sandlin's a West Coaster at one point, is that I met some of the very talented people who are out there in that western half of the United States who don't necessarily come to Chicago or Virginia or Atlanta. And there's some very talented builders and there's some great personalities out in the western state. So, Mr. Anderson, it was a pleasure to meet you and chat. So,
yeah.
I hate to bother you again, but hey, can I get the big screen? I want to show you one of my neighbors, and I swear to God, this is my neighbor. That is how we get down in Florida, ladies and gentlemen. Florida man. It's literally on the Facebook neighborhood group.
Awesome.
Like, this is the neighborhood I live in, and this is our neighborhood group. Earl is one block over. Earl Ave.
His name is Earl.
No, the street is Earl. Sorry, I don't even know. No, this is some clown. I don't know. But yeah, true story. I don't need the big screen. Oh, she's pregnant too. All right, good. What? Like, that's what you do for a hurricane. Sorry. My bad. That's what we do during hurricanes in Florida.
Nice. How close to the center of circulation were you guys? I couldn't tell.
I would say probably maybe 25 miles, maybe 30.
Wow.
From the center. It was coming right for us. And then it just at the last moment dipped over towards Jacksonville a little bit, which is fine with me. But the funny story is, and this is something dumb I'm gonna say, you always in Florida, in Tallahassee, we never get a direct hit because it hits some type of Atlantic Ocean Gulf streams, and then it goes, I'm going to leave Tallahassee alone. But we will flood. We will be feet underwater, happily.
Well, that's because you're only like 2 inches above sea level as it is. So.
Oh, stop. Thanks for noticing.
Cosbricks, hello. Question. The last build looked like an RV. Will this be a tour bus spaceship? It's not. It's actually a rescue ship that I'm working on, a kind of like an ambulance lander kind of thing. So, hello, Moto. Moto was at Brick Slopes. That's awesome. And then we texted with each other on his way home and everything. So, all right. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we just go ahead and do that? Tell us about your before we get into our topic tonight. Go ahead and tell us about your trip to Salt Lake City.
So it was funny. I landed at the airport at about 10:20, and I immediately went to Home Depot to get the aluminum rods I was going to need for the mosaic. And I pulled up at the convention center, I don't know, like 10 minutes before 12 when it was officially supposed to open. And I go to park, and who do I park right next to? Moto. So, I was like, oh, it's going to be like old times. I'm going to know everyone at the convention. But in fact, because it is in the Western U.S., I didn't know most of the people there, but started off right away seeing at least a couple of people that I was familiar with. So that felt good just to see some familiar faces. And first of all, like I had been told that if you go to Brick Slopes, you will leave with your admission, the cost of admission's worth of free Lego when you leave. And that was true. So in your goodie bag, so I bought the premium goodie bag, so it was about $100. So they have a theme T-shirt for each year. So this one was like build your dream destination kind of thing. So we've got the janitor hanging out under the palm tree, and I'm sure Moto probably has this too if he bought the premium pack. So they also had their own little minifig that has their own printed insert carded behind it with the janitor figure. So you got the shirt, you got the minifig, you got a bag of brick. And generally the bags that they have kind of like newish, rarish things. So like the palm leaf in the olive green color is
I hit a button or something.
Those are relatively new. At the exit, when you went to check out, you got up to go up the table, and there was a whole bunch of bagged up parts, and you could pick from among those. And I picked these the 4x4 tiles. It looks like things that were probably on sort of bulk lug lists, but there were definitely some really cool parts. I debated getting a second bag of the green mesh here, but instead
you didn't want to get busted at the airport.
That's right. I had to go past the sniffer dog, so I was like, you know what? I better go with the gray plates. They're brick. So they're brick, and their theme is brick slopes. So when you go in, your logo is actually a three-dimensional slope shape, which is fitting with their theme. They also had if it was your first time visiting Brick Slopes, you got it's your first try brick. So that was kind of fun.
First try.
They had a thing up at the front the first day for everyone who it was their first trip to Brick Slopes. And they just kind of talked about a lot of their games were set up as just show up and, we might have to cap it because we only have so many sets to give away. But some of the things you had to sign up for ahead of time, but others you did not. So at the opening session, I asked a question, and to my surprise, I was given a set because I asked a question. So I was like, wow, if I'd known that, I would have asked a question, immediately. But so I got the Powder Puff Girls as you asked the question. And then at the opening door prize, you scan your badge, and they went through roughly about 350 people who were exhibitors, and every single person who came to the show got a door prize, either at the opening door prizes or closing door prizes or middle of the show door prize. So I ended up getting an Exo Knights set, which I immediately texted the picture to Dana, and I said, "Oh look, it's Dana Trade Bait. Oh Dana, like Exo Knights, so pretty." And then at the closing, he asked everyone to like raise their hand who hasn't gotten a door prize yet. And I don't know, maybe like 30 people. I didn't really take a good look, but all the people that raised their hands, he's like, okay, y'all just come up front. We're going to give you a set. So he made sure that every single attendee who had signed up got a door prize. And then they went through the list a second time, and I was lucky enough that I won another door prize. So
wow.
It's kind of profiling to give the gay guy the Queer Eye set, but I was thrilled to get this. So I have had one of these sets that I opened, and I sold the minifigs on Bricklink to pay when the set first came out, because the torsos and the hair, some of those are kind of original to those particular figures. And I sold them off, but it comes with a ton of the white masonry profile bricks, and I was a big fan of that. So it's a great parts pack, despite my jokes about, the gay guy getting the Queer Eye set. I was actually, would have been in like my top 5 of the kinds of sets they were giving out. So I was very happy about that. And then as a trophy winner, the trophy was Best of Art. And so I got the bus, which I did not own this set. So I was so we will have this to put together. And speaking of said trophy, so they do their awards on Saturday evening at 7. And so I went out and went sightseeing on Saturday. I drove around Salt Lake and Colorado. I drove around the state of Utah and visited a bunch of places. And when I came back into the hall, I just kind of walked in to actually see what kind of tokens were there, because I didn't have a barrier for the mosaic at the show. My experience in Greenville, where I didn't have a barrier, was that people really enjoyed coming up and touching and looking at the mosaic really close and then stepping back. And then a lot of people wanted to pose in front of the mosaic and take a picture, like with it right behind them. And so when I talked to Aubrey, I said, actually, I don't think I want a barrier. I want people to kind of be able to get as close as they want to the thing. But the one consequence was that any of the tokens that were left along the bottom, and it was right down on the floor, they were just kind of there. People might step on them, or, maybe little kids might pick them up. So I did collect the tokens after Saturday, but I came in and I saw this sitting there at the bottom. And so spoiler, I knew I was a winner before we went to the award ceremony, which was nice. I mean, I was still going to the award ceremony anyways. They have a lot of awards categories at this float. And for people who win, they call you up front and you take a picture with one of the 4 gentlemen who are the organizers, and you get a prize set. And so in my case, it was the London bus set, which I like a lot.
Nice.
They also had a new Lego store that opened that weekend. And so if you went and made a purchase, which I did, so I drove over because, like Dana says, I'm a basic AFOL. I do whatever it takes to get the freebies. And so they had the new Lego store set. If you spent, I think it was $120, and you also got the Lego moving truck. So I did get a Star Wars set. By the time I drove there on Sunday, it was becoming apparent that there was no way I was going to fit everything in the luggage that I brought, and that I was going to have to buy a box and ship stuff home. So I went ahead and just bought a $120 set so I could get the freebies and ship those back to the house. Tip of the hat to the Postal Service. Like, I got home and the box got here 2 days later. It was crazy fast. So that was pretty cool. So the tokens are great. I mean, Moto already showed a picture of some of the tokens that were left at his, but one of them in particular was particularly cool. And if you see the tile, it says iLug. That's for the Idaho lug. And if this little copter thing doesn't jog a bell, the Idaho lug had a massive display based on the second Avatar movie. And so they collectively, from what I understood, Disney had a contest where you could pitch ideas, and they would underwrite a parts order to do some kind of big collective display. They were selected, and if I have the story right, Disney supplied them with 1 million pieces for their Avatar display. So pretty sweet deal. They did a lot of work. It was a whole crew of people setting up and tearing down. And I have to tell you that on Sunday night, they had that thing boxed up in like 2 hours. I was astonished at how quickly they were able to disassemble that. So this is the symbol then of their particular token. Was this little, they've got their own printed, Idaho thing, and then they've got the little copter that shows out. Maktura says, we put out trophies Friday night and we were supposed to tell you to bring your trophy to the ceremony. Oh, that's fine. Now the most puzzling, Moto, I don't know if you got this very exclusive token, but the most puzzling token to me was oftentimes tokens are things like stickers,
Mm-hmm.
or you have your printed tiles, right? So you get some of
Mm-hmm.
but no, I just went and dropped it. But the most puzzling token that I received was a single 1x3 lime green plate. No symbol on it. It was just a line. Like, if it hadn't been close with all the other tokens, I might have thought it was an accident. But
Somebody drop the plate.
right. So I think it's a token. You know, maybe not. You know, maybe it was an accident and you just kind of got kicked over and it bounced against the bottom mosaic and it ended up at rest next to those other ones. So that was the one I wasn't quite sure about. And then nearby, somebody had made a sort of three-dimensional mosaic, and they had made the Starry Night out of Duplo. And
Oh,
so
wow.
it was a mother-daughter combination, and they were leaving. They left. They came over and talked to me at Teardown, and they said, "Hey, we left you the Duplo brick, and we're the people who did the Duplo version of Starry Night," which was really fun. It was really fun and colorful, and so I'm glad that they came over and identified themselves, because otherwise I'd be like, well, okay, it's a Duplo brick. But, you know, once I knew the connection and how it linked back to their particular Duplo theme build, it made it more meaningful and fun. There were some vendors there that I had never seen before. And so one of the vendors, well, this one I had seen before. We all know Abby Dabbies, and they've come down to Brick Fair, Alabama many years, and so they're friends of all of us.
Matthew, read what it says on the package.
No. I'm always gonna be. It's always gonna be
Abby Dabbles.
Read again, Abby Dabbles.
For anybody who wants to find the website and buy the products, it's Abby Dabbles.
But this was not them. This was someone else who had bought product from them and was selling them at a. So I got the last of the Lego goat, which one of the days Cody was wearing the Lego goat applied to a hat. So I kind of am tempted to do the same thing. If I find a hat with a base color that I like, just iron it on. Or I need some kind of like Lego vest or something. So I got the goats. And then another business, they made Lego rulers. And so, but these rulers are based not in inches or meters, but in plate height. So if you are measuring something and you're trying to figure out how many bricks and plates would it need to be yay tall, here's your Lego ruler. And their company, if should you want to buy one, it's actually not printed on here, but I have their card.
Let's just go with Abby Dabbles again.
You can get it customized. So mine says Falconer 18. And one of our Atlanta builders here, Mr. Jason, was just happened to be out in Salt Lake visiting family. And so he came over on Saturday. And so he also bought one, and they custom printed it. And so I brought it back for him. So you get your name for your ruler. The other side of this is that the technicals. So if you're trying to figure out where the technicals are going to line up, you can use it this way, and you get your technical count. So if you want to sort of cheat tool, nice little ruler, fun.
Awesome.
And then I got to meet someone that has had a relationship with Mr. Dana, who is one of our regulars but not present. Those of you who are watchers know that Dana, and that is a company called Tricked Out Bricks, and so they're based in Salt Lake, and they have made minifig stands, which is what Dana worked with them, and they said that Dana's feedback was extremely precise and very helpful, and they told me to say hi to Mr. Dana. But they had these cool stands, especially for different spaceships, and I have a lot of the spaceships in my office, a lot of Star Wars ships, and of course UCS ships typically come with a brick built stand that they rest on, but some of the smaller ships don't. And so I picked up a couple of these. It's by Tricked Out Bricks, and they have a variety of support mechanisms. So if you do have minifigs or things you want to have float in the air. And in fact, I was talking with one of the displayers, and she had this big, I'm hoping that we can have her on as a guest. Actually, I've been messaging with her on Instagram. She had this big Star Wars display, and for her Millennium Falcon, it stood on a clear pillar, a single pillar that was, I don't know, maybe 12. Oh, speak of Mr. Dana, 12 or 16 inches tall, and it was custom made for her. And she's like, well, if you want it, he's got the mold figured out now. So if anybody else wants that kind of tall pillar that is built to support it was for a smaller, not the UCS Falcon, but a smaller medium scale Falcon. It's now available. So one of the things that's interesting.
This house, a pillar is what you sleep on.
Not wrong.
One of the things about going to a Western show is that I met builders I'd never met before, but I also saw vendors that I'd never seen before. So, another kind of incentive. If folks, those of us who are East and, kicking around the idea, well, maybe I'll go out there. There definitely are some added things. One more thing that Mr. Jason got for me was he went the very first day that the new Lego store was open, and they were giving away this special tile. Cool. And I didn't get over there until Sunday. So he went there on Friday. Friday was the first day it was open. The pick wall was tiny and didn't have a huge variety, but he begged them for a second tile for me. So thank you, Jason. Otherwise, I would not have this unique new Lego store tile.
It was awesome.
And then a couple of other people had some printed stuff. So I bought these two printed examples for the brand new Ahsoka series, which it just came out before I got on the airplane, and these were pretty cool. So, they're upside down. Okay, that's what I get. There we go.
No, they're both upside down.
There we go. So I got some.
You got to flip the other one.
No, don't bother.
It's fine. It's all fine.
Everything's good. We've seen them.
We're all fine. Oh, hey, you got it.
Fine. We're fine. Yeah, so it was fun seeing different vendors, fun seeing different builders. I would say the vibe was very good. People were very friendly. Having gone to Chicago 2 years in a row and Virginia once, both of which are very large conventions, it was actually, I don't know if Moto feels this way, but I actually like the fact that you could kind of walk around the hall and talk to everybody. And I don't feel like that is realistic at Chicago. I felt, especially the second time at Chicago, then I ended up having a lot of hand wave conversations as people went by. They would say, hey, let's talk. And then we never talked. Partly because it's not because I wasn't talking. It's just a really huge convention. And at this kind of scale, I actually did get to go back and talk to all kinds of people. And I mentioned, Brian Anderson, he was staying at the hotel. Those of us who were from out of state, we actually, most of us were staying at the same hotel. So you came down in the morning and you got to chat with people. And I started to develop a friendship with people. Some of the people were from St. Louis, and we had some people from Colorado. And it was nice. It was actually kind of nice not having quite as many people there. Gave you more of an opportunity to have slightly longer and perhaps more meaningful, or perhaps totally silly conversations. But I liked that part of it. So I'm not going back next year because I hope to go to the Seattle one in September of next year. But I would strongly encourage folks who have an interest, who can and wish to fly out there and go to it. Cody and all will make sure you leave with lots of Lego. Leave room in your suitcase, or take an empty suitcase inside your big suitcase,
or drive.
Those are options, especially for some people. I can't drive during the school year because I can't be gone that long. But excellent time. 2 thumbs up. It's a very well-run show. You could tell that the 4 or 5 of them that started it get along well. They work to solve problems. If you have a question, you can just walk up to the table and Cody or Brian or Aubrey, that crew are just around. They're walking around. They're solving problems. They're communicating, and it's very impressive. So 2 thumbs up, and I will be back at some point. Not next year, but I will definitely go back. I had a great time.
Yeah,
the only downside was the food was not as good as Chicago. I had some very forgettable meals. The Greek place, Santorini's, was my favorite. Jason told me of a couple good places that I tried to go to on Sunday, but they were all closed on Sunday. So I did not.
Because everything is closed on Sunday.
A lot of things are closed on Sunday in public.
Cool. That's cool. And, Cody and Aubrey, they came to our Atlanta Brick Convention, and hopefully they will come back
I think
hopefully
Brian and Jill also came to Atlanta. So I think it
Cool.
was like a whole 5 of them came last year.
did they?
You know what? I can't. Now that you say that, I can't remember if they did.
Either I saw them here or I saw them in Chicago. But I
We
know
definitely
saw
saw him in
Cody.
Chicago.
We saw Cody at ABC.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We-
Cody was ABC.
Cody was here.
Cody. Yeah.
I
But-
saw Cody ABC. I don't know what I zoned out. Now I'm back. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's good to have those connections between cons and.
Yeah, don't
Invite
ask me about
everything.
Tampa though.
Oh well, I was getting
No,
there. How did Tampa
no.
go?
No, I'm not taking the next 30 minutes to talk about Tampa.
But did it go well? Was it well attended? Did it go?
Oh
well? We don't have
my
to talk about our
God.
topic. We're just goofing.
It was just like Atlanta, only the Florida lug showed up. But it brought people all the way up from Tampa. That was good. Yeah, I'm zoning back out. Brought people up from Miami, brought people all the way from Atlanta down. And it had the same vibe. It had that same family vibe it had in Atlanta, only more space.
Space.
No, not
Good
that
Lord.
space, not zoomy space. Like the
I was
crowd.
about to get offended. I'm like, they didn't have more spaceships than we did. So
No, I think the crowd. Honestly, I think the crowds were about the same size, but the
Oh.
venue and the spacing was best or was good for the amount of people that came through. It was jamming. It was jamming, and yes, I did get a couple of tokens. Thanks for asking.
Did you get a token?
I did. My very favorite one is this one right here.
Woo.
Exactly. They came up to me and they're like, "Woo!"
I just got.
Oh, I
just-
get it.
And I'm not. He told me
Got
what this was. It's a micro set. It's a micro build of a set. He was doing Star Wars, but he came up with this, and I loved it. Yep. Oh, okay. Here's one. This Alex got this one because Alex got the display. He would help collab with the castle and New Hashima.
Oh, nice.
Stefan
That's cool.
gave this to Alex for helping him work on the New Hashima. And it is Eclipse Graphics special print for New Hashima.
Nice.
I don't know if they're selling them anywhere, but these are the specialty print. So they're all the greatest. So that's all I got, but we got these we got the blue and the white one just because I stole the blue one. And
Ooh.
Alex, this is Alex's first brick badge.
Nice.
Nice.
Third
Always
convention. As he said the whole time, this is my third convention, but first in Tampa. So he was excited. So it was a good time for all. Good time for all.
Good.
You guys really missed out on a good time.
I know.
Shame. By the way, the one that gave me the built thing, that was Leon from our lug.
Yeah.
He drove down and displayed directly next to me because they put Peach Lug all together, which was nice.
That's nice.
So he had a big Star Wars set. He had an interactive fish tank with water in it. Check it out when
Wow.
you can. And then he had Mission on Mars, the entire thing, and he had it.
Oh,
set
it's
up.
Exobricks.
Yes, yes.
So Rick,
We love
What?
Exobricks.
I call
Yeah.
him Leon. Y'all call him whatever you want.
I'm
Leon's
from
my boy
Frickin'.
now.
You're Bricksmith, so that's how I roll. That's how I roll. But yeah,
when I hear the name Leon, I think of that one scene in Airplane where Johnny jumps in and Leon's getting larger and then jumps back on.
He also went to the South Carolina show at Greenville that I drove up to. So
Yeah. So
Leon-
Leon's everywhere you want to be.
yeah, so he and I were the Peach Lug folks for that show as well.
Right.
So. And he's a super nice guy.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
he did the big Hoth display at Atlanta BrickCon this year.
He also brought that to to Tampa with some painter tape holding it together. I said, "You're an idiot. You can build great, but you have no idea what to do with that painter tape." Real quick, they're going to Charlotte in October.
What?
Okay. Then they're going to be back in Atlanta in February.
Who's the they?
They are again,
Nick and Amanda.
that's them.
Okay. Okay.
Then in May they're going to Jacksonville, and I expect all of Peach Lug to be there. I don't care if it's 2 months. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't
When?
care.
When is
May.
it?
May.
I should be able to do that because my school wraps up like May 5th. So
Well, I can't pimp out Keith's house any more than I already have, but y'all just come on down.
So we stayed in Jacksonville for almost a month. Thomas had outpatient at Mayo Clinic, and
Okay.
I know of some really good restaurants right over by Jacksonville Beach because that's where we stay. That's where Mayo is, and Thomas would love to go back just to eat at some of the
Come on
restaurants.
down.
We had great food. The Lego store had just opened, so we went there right before COVID, manifested.
Keith lives 7 minutes from the Lego store.
Does he really? Okay.
Oh yeah, he came down here and was looking at apartments, and he decided on his apartment by size,
Okay.
and closeness to the Lego store.
Well, that's how Matthew chose where his house is.
Yeah. I moved from living 10 minutes from North Point to now I live 10 minutes from Sugarloaf. So, that's the criteria.
Absolutely. Also, Keith, who is a silent member of our club, who has been around and has whatever in the last few years. Charleston in October, Charlotte in June. You guys read that in the chat. I apologize for my incorrectness. Jams has fixed it. Yes, folks. Jams is in the house.
Big Jams. I hope you didn't have too much bad weather yourself. So
he had less than he called me checking on me, and he's like, "Sun shining." I'm like, "Go to hell." I didn't really say that, but yeah.
There you go. Hey, Brick Snaps, how are you? There's the schedule there. That's all.
Oh yeah, he was there too.
Yeah.
He got
I'm glad Nick and Amanda are doing it. I mean, there's like a show, like 2 shows every weekend. It seemed like for this last month or something like that. So,
I'll say this about Nick and Amanda: they are doing it. Like I don't mean sex, but like they're really doing a jam up job on this side in the dirty down here. I'm in love. I'm home.
This is going downhill fast. I'm just.
Oh, did Matt tell you got a gay set?
Yeah.
So
I have to interrupt this program because Angus McLean just posted this to our Discord.
Whoa, Angus alert.
Whoa.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have to say that going to Brick Slopes may be the first time I've been to a Lego convention where Martin was not there. Like he's.
But you
always,
had Abner though, right?
Abner was there. I had extended.
I had Abner.
Abner was questioning the logic of my county travels, that if I just step foot in a county that should count. And he was, I'm like, Abner, you fly everywhere. Why are you arguing with me about my driving to the county? But Abner seemed like he was having a great time. So,
Am I the only one that looks at his map and goes, "Please God, just finish the other 2. Just do something." I wonder. I'm like, that's only 2 left in the 48. Come on, get it done.
Probably 2025 we'll have all the lower 48 states done.
I am a fan of Matt's maps. I will say it again. I am the only AFOL that is a fan of Matt's maps.
Probably.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I enjoy Matt's maps as well. As a matter of fact, when I see maps, I instantly think of Matt. So
Every time as well.
I need to start my own YouTube channel, Matt's Maps.
I really think
There
you
you go.
should.
long ago.
That will blow
Well,
up.
apparently the last 5 minutes, this show has been maps. But anyway.
Hey, it wasn't me that brought it up. So
Who are you pointing at?
All right.
asked me
Let's talk our topic really fast here, and we can then go around and do our breakdowns. Who's got what? built or what's going on in the Lego world. All right, so we know that Lego has a lot of our money, and but apparently, let's talk about this first. The financial results. Did y'all look at this? That Lego's financial results weren't as robust as they have been. Let me share the story here from who am I stealing this content from? The Brick Fan. The financial results says that Lego has kind of not plateaued, but their growth rate was, like something like they had 3% growth and they only had 1% growth. Their profitability was less than last year. What do you guys think about this report here?
I think the bubble was going to pop eventually, and
That's not it.
It's just, I mean, if you think about it, they had record after record breaking years. For them to still go up 1%, that means they're still killing it, though. So I don't see this as a problem.
I have an issue. I have an issue with what Dana said. I think
you have an issue.
Well, I don't think that's it. I think what's happened is they are trying to connect to a new demographic, the nostalgic people, and they're because of the high price point MSRP, whatever, that they're not selling as much, but it's a higher. I don't know. The math doesn't work in my head. They opened up a place. They're putting more into R&D. I don't know. They're not selling to the kids as much as they're supposed to.
We need to have a whole Bricksmith Explains Math channel.
I did differ because if they still did 1% over what they did last year,
okay.
I mean, the last 2 years with COVID influx in buying, I mean, if you can maintain it, then maintaining it is fine. If you're at 1% to maintain, you're still killing it. I mean, if it dropped
it would be
before COVID numbers, that I would see there being a problem.
Here's the thing, though. It would be more if they sold to children or pulled their focus back on those grown-ups because they're not. Oh, okay. I'll shut up now.
Wrong.
No, not us.
Here's why. The toy sector is in decline.
Okay.
They are beating the sector average. So Mattel and Hasbro and these other companies, they're seeing a decline in sales. Lego is not, because they're not just selling to kids, they're selling to us. And that's keeping them using. Jeff.
Poor Jeff.
Jeff did the tray toss, I think.
What happened to Jeff? Sorry, I was reading the article, and what happened?
I just dropped something. It's not a big deal.
By the way, I like what Jesse Brick Galaxy said. He said we're both right, so I can live with that. Good job, Dana.
No crime.
As long as you both go home having fun, then that's fine.
Well, I mean, to Bricksmith's point, yes, the toy, it's still a children's toy. It should be marketed at kids, but they've always been marketing at kids, and they've always been still killing it. I mean, with kids. The fact that they started marketing to AFOLs, we were bitching for decades that they weren't marketing to AFOLs, and now they finally are. You can't now complain that they're marketing to AFOLs.
No, they're not marketing to AFOLs. They don't like us. They're marketing to grown-ups.
That's true. There's a difference.
I believe they're putting them on the shelf. They're building, like, literally. I know a girl who's like, she built the globe. She's never built a set before in her life. She's like 24, 25, and then goes, "What's this?" That's not an AFOL.
Well, you're right. Well, those are baby AFOLs. They're baby AFOLs or pre-AFOLs.
I hope
we're not gatekeeping. We appreciate adult fans. I found out that my neighbor, young lady, she's 22 or whatever. She's now a collector. She collects a few things and buys sets and everything. It's a legit, hobby kind of thing, kind of stuff. Look at that Nexonite. That's beautiful, by the way. But this then leans into, okay, so there is I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there is a marked decrease in the price point on a lot of the adult fan scents. Case in point, let me share this with you. The new set that got announced here is the Viking Village, and it is darned impressive. I will go ahead and say it. I appreciate this set a lot. I probably won't buy it. I know that a lot of people who will, and it's a very cool set. But its price point is $130 versus a Nintendo that's $200 and something.
You can say Ben Winden's name on camera. It's okay.
How many parts?
Hang on.
Down. You just slid down under there.
It is 2,103 pieces. So
that's crazy good value of price.
That is very good value.
You used to just buy it for the parts at that point. You need some brown.
As someone who's in descent, this is going to be a no-brainer. I have to have this one.
I'm in.
Yeah. So,
but go ahead.
I will give Julian some credit.
Don't do that. Don't. No, go ahead.
Just this once. He is correct in that a lot of what Lego is doing is marketing nostalgia to Gen Xers, and so 100%. A lot of those things are Gen X movies, TV shows. There is a lot of nostalgia marketing, but where Dana and I agree with Dana, is that could be the gateway drug into becoming an AFOL, right? Get people.
I respect that too. As well, I agree.
I mean, because realistically, you don't have to promote to the junkies. The junkies are going to find the dealer no matter what.
Amen.
I mean, I hate to. I'm not crossing a stream there, am I? I don't know. I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is that if you're having to market to kids because new kids don't know about it, you're marketing to younger kids, and that's how it works. But you don't have to market to true AFOLs because they've already bought the crack. They're already addicted. You want to get the gateway sets in there to get other people in. That's where it's at. So.
The true AFOLs are sharing the press release on their social media when the set comes out.
Yeah, they're sharing. I mean, Jesus. I woke up this morning like, oh my gosh, look, there's a Viking set. 30, 40, 50 different times. So yeah, right. I think I knew they didn't need to tell me because.
Here's the thing: I
need to get in on that gravy. I need to be an influencer and get those sets in the mail. I'm just being honest.
Here's what I used to do whenever I would see 800 different sets of the same thing on my feed. I would then copy the picture, flip it upside, and post it like a distress bag.
All right, so we have to take our moment to talk about the spokes model for the set. Are you guys ready for this?
Almost.
We like to comment on the picture here. This guy has a self. He knitted this wool shirt himself. The bowls have appeared again, and I love that the Brady Bunch's stairs are represented behind him there. That's really nice.
Hashtag tattoo.
He does have a nice barn door behind him as well. So it's
one of those rolling.
I don't know what that means, but
I got your barn door right here.
But as I think Dana pointed out, he's no longer in the post-apocalyptic bunker. So I mean,
that's true.
So
well, he's a baby Viking, isn't he?
He is.
Sorry, what's the set number for that one?
The set number for this is 21343.
Weird.
Jeff is placing his pre-order right now.
No, I can't even find it on Shop at Home.
Oh, really?
But he's looking to place his pre-order.
It doesn't come up. It doesn't come up when you search for Viking Village.
It's sold out.
This is supposedly a Target exclusive, right?
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, because September, or it actually started the 25th of August, is Target's Geek-tastic month or whatever. I believe that this will go on pre-sale tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's my guess.
Hey, Jams, if you're still out there, go ahead and pick me one up. I'll pay you back.
Well, it'll go on pre-sale.
Yeah, I'll take one too, buddy. While you're there, you know.
Hey, stay off my jams.
It'll be pre-sale. It'll be pre-sale. So.
All right. By the way, there is a secret box with runes in it for I don't know.
That would be chicken bones. That would be chicken bones.
No.
So this is in an attic now, I guess. They moved it upstairs.
For those of us in the real world, that's called a loft. It's called
yeah, whatever.
Jamie, shut up.
And That
He
is
said he's heard that.
his wicker shield there on the wall. So
That is probably a snake representation of the wheel.
Isn't that like
I'm
some
gonna,
Teutonic magic symbol to ward off evil spirits?
we're assembling and everything. I watched Atlanta Brick Company's morning show, and the guys talked about this set. And Mark said he thinks he knows maybe the guy who designed this because he sees some design stuff. It only has 4 figures on it though for $130. That's a little low, I think.
I
But
don't care about the figs, man. It's all about the bricks.
yeah, I guess that.
Oh, that's it. My bad, everybody.
You said that out
But
loud.
I wonder if we will see Viking parts hit the BAM in conjunction with this.
Good chance.
Because they have been getting better at the BAM. I mean, when the Lion's Castle came out, what did we see in the BAM? You know? So
Where did they have the poop in this one? I don't know. Well, I guess there is supposed to be poop somewhere. There was rumors they would have the goat back for that, but they did not. So
The goat's for a medieval set.
Yeah.
Some kind of medieval
there's going to be
village.
some other medieval set that'll have the goat in it.
Yeah.
And that's still pending, but yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, we're supposed to see a whole bunch of space sets showing up in the fall or the spring. So who knows?
Did somebody say this?
They
No,
did.
they didn't.
But all right, so with this stuff in mind, though, Lego, of course, raised their prices per part, all the kind of stuff. Do you think that negatively affected their growth, or kept them profitable when they did all that? What do you guys think? I bought less because the price went up. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, David Sincere mentioned earlier, and we talked about it in our chat yesterday. They raised the prices 5 to 10% on all the sets, and they made like a 1% increase in sales. So
In a shrinking,
yeah. So I think if they hadn't done that, they probably would have been in a negative. But again, it balanced itself out a bit. Like less people bought sets because the prices were higher. You know,
I'm going to slip on my economist hat and annoy everyone. They said a year ago in the first half they struggled to keep up with a surge in demand.
Mm-hmm.
So raising your prices if you're having trouble to keep sets on the shelf is a perfectly logical way to cash in on high demand. And you raise the set price, sets stay on the shelf a little bit more, and you're making more money per set. I can tell you that the bean counters at Lego Corporation are not crying about this.
No,
Right.
they're looking at it as a win still.
Yes, they are.
Well, the Lego tried to manage that all back in the day and did it poorly, but they didn't expect a downturn. They about got it handed to them yet again. When a few years back, but they figured that out. But so anyway, the price increase didn't affect the market as much, and it helped them be profitable. So, I mean, kudos to them. Is that bubble gonna stay unpopped, or do you think it's gonna pop?
I don't think we're ever going to actually see a pop. I mean, I would think a pop would mean like Lego would have, layoffs, closing stores. Oh, Space Ghost, that would be great.
I also have a thing.
It would be Space Goats Coast to Coast would be totally the thing that would have to happen.
No, my thing's different than that. I got answer the question.
George Lowe would have to voice the goat. I mean,
Keep your thing in Florida for right now.
I'm loving it. Anyway, but I don't think we're ever going to see a true pop where, an implosion, because a pop would indicate an implosion where like Disney's going through a retail pop because they closed stores all across the country. I don't think we're ever going to see Lego do that. I think we're going to see them maybe plateau.
I beg to differ.
Scale back, but I don't necessarily think we're going to see a pop.
I beg to differ, Dana.
Give me your reasons why.
Okay, here are my reasons why. The boomers have 53% of all tangible money in America. When they die, what?
Boomers.
The boomers, yes.
Which
the extras have 20. What?
Which none of us are boomers.
Right.
That's my parents.
Right. We are extras. We have 25%. The silent generation has 17, and millennials have 5. What?
Boomers aren't buying Lego. It's us.
Yeah.
No, you're incorrect, sir.
We're Gen Xers.
Yeah,
We're
no.
buying the Lego. And when we inherit, when those boomers kick the bucket and I get that giant inheritance, I'm kidding. It's not going to be giant. But whatever inheritance comes my way, I'm going to blow it all on Lego just to tick off Brick Smiths.
Grandparents buy large kit sets for kids.
Moto just nailed it. So did Jeff. The boomers are buying Lego like crazy because they don't believe in technology. They're buying their kids something, the grandkids something, the great grandkids something to put, not a tablet.
I gave my parents Lego and they were like, "Oh, that's nice," and they set it on the shelf and they didn't ask for any more.
Chris, which one am I?
You're the slapping one.
I just wanted to make sure.
Well, I mean, they're in. Maybe they are the reason that all the price points for the adult set seem to be kind of calming down for this next little run. Is they also see, okay, we need to make some cooler things, a little lower price to keep folks buying a good deal, kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know.
But I would say that the explosion in adult building is Xers, not boomers. So I know Seamus just defined himself into the boomer category, but I would
well,
say,
you know. But the thing, but like I'm saying though, it's what they're doing is they're keeping it. They're not keeping any afloat. You know what? Listen. Here's what's happening right now, guys. I'm going off half cocked. I don't have any real proof of anything I'm saying. I am being argumentative, and I don't know why.
Because it's fun.
I mean, it is fun.
It is.
I mean, just go back and watch us give Van Winnen a rough time last night on Canadian Brick Builders. We had a great time. Poor guy.
I just
put that up there. Let him talk.
Oh, look at that.
So to come back around to Dana's point, the other thing, so I do think it's impossible that you could see particular markets have a shrinkage, but we have to keep in mind that was not on purpose.
But it was funny.
It's a global product, and demand in Asia is booming. And let's say the North American market has a sharp cutback or decline. Lego isn't dependent on just one market. And yeah, Lego could have to go through some belt tightening. They at some point may reduce the number of stores. I think Chris Giddens has PTSD from the near bankruptcy of Lego, and he constantly keeps looking like, are they going to go off the edge? I saw them get real close, and Chris keeps reliving the horror of seeing Lego almost go under, and he's like,
well, and Mark and I, we remember those times. So does Jeff. I mean, they almost got bought out. I mean, there was literally, they had offers on the table, and I'm not putting that up, Holden Sorley, but thank you. But yeah, I mean, it was a reality that they almost lost it. Do I think Lego knows what they're doing in certain sectors to guard against that? Yes. Is Lego also a company that has repeated mistakes and it had to kick them in the butt? Yes. So I do know there's no big technology pushes. It seems like they're learning. I think they just drop all that. I'm guessing. But all the molds, all the things that they're going to have some belt tightening. I'm pretty sure. Again, just to survive and everything. You don't think it's going to wipe them out again? No. And everything. But the other thing is, the last thing, since we're talking about money and how the Danes are taking our cash. It's a very excellent article if you have not looked at it on our friends, and I say that because I don't know anybody there personally, I don't think. But anyway, our friends at the Brick Nerd, and I encourage you to support them and everything. But they have what the Lego IP tax actually is. They did a study of weight per piece and price. And to get down to it, basically they said that the license tax that we pay is basically 20% of the price of the set. License sets are 20% higher by weight from their sample size. Would you guys agree? Does that number shock you? What do you think?
I always thought it was going to be closer to 15, but it doesn't surprise me that it's 20%.
As an action figure collector, this doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Okay. this is pretty cool. This little chart actually is what would the UCS Millennium Falcon at 850 would be 708 with the adjusted price, but isn't about 708 the original price before they jacked up the value of those things?
I think it was 750, wasn't it? Originally?
Yeah, it was close. Yeah. But the Disney Castle would be $330 versus $400 if it weren't for the tax there. So that's pretty interesting. There. But so
the trade-off is, of course, that those sets do sell and they get people to walk the door. I mean, the Star Wars IP is what got me back into Lego. In 2004, they did that first Star Destroyer and the Death Star 2 sculpture, and I walked in the Lego store at what is now Sugarloaf, and I saw that and I said, I want that. I want that. I'm 34 years old and I want that on my bookshelf, and eventually I got it and it's right up there behind me. So those IPs, they pass that tax on to us, the consumer, but this is one consumer who has a wall of Star Wars UCS sits in his office, so apparently I'm willing to pay that tax. So
yeah, I mean we all are, and your first set you probably aren't even thinking, what is the part per piece and weight? If you're like, oh, I gotta have the Star Wars thing, you get it, and then after you're really into it and then you realize how much money you're spending, you're like, maybe I need to find something a little cheaper and a better deal.
Said no A-Fold ever.
I'm gonna pay this card down.
Maybe I should switch to Mega Blocks. Mega Blocks, they're cheaper. Maybe I'll go on Temu and buy the knockoffs.
You know what I gotta say though, that there are some Temu sets that they show pictures for, and I'm like, it's Temu, but they look just some cool designs. There are some cool designs. So
in particular, the Asian themed buildings on Temu are really sweet, and I almost pulled the trigger on one, and then I realized that they're not really the same scale and compatible with Lego. Because some of the comments, people are like, this is like a third smaller than Lego bricks. And I'm like, no, I already have fat enough fingers. Like the idea of trying to assemble something that was even smaller, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
I mean, I did find some bootleg instructions for a cat set and tried to augment it to the instructions to work with Lego, and it just doesn't still work out right. So
nano blocks.
So if you have the bootleg instructions to a set, then do you have the set then?
Well, they're digital instructions. So
speaking of bootleg, where's that bag of goats when we need it?
Fat Fingers Matt. Hey, that's your new name, buddy, right there.
Fat Finger Matt.
That sounds like a jazz name.
Actually, that's your porn name, wouldn't it be? Fat
Finger Matt would be a compliment.
Hang on.
And check, please.
I just want to point out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I haven't caused one of those in a while. That felt good.
I was an innocent bystander on that. I'm just kidding.
That's what she said.
I can't say you can't say that. You're the one that said you had fat fingers.
Dana, one of the episodes you're gone, I went the full measure to fill in for both of us, and it was fun.
Yeah, then for both of us.
Wait, what now?
Don't know what it's talking about.
Why is Chris blushing? Chris is blushing.
That's because I'm laughing.
Chris has that temporary suntan look.
That's when the blood pressure goes up. All right, let's since we didn't do the spin around the room and we have talked to Matt and we've talked to Brick Smith, Jeff, save us with some Canadian niceness and what have you been building? What's up in your world?
So don't talk about beavers? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, okay.
Good night, everybody.
Those are otters, not beavers.
Oh, those guys. I've got it in pieces right now, but I'm currently working on Yellow Castle rebuild. This feels like yesterday again, where every time I go to talk, you get interrupted with something. The Yellow Castle rebuild, where I'm trying to build the floor, like the bouncy castle floor, to wiggle around.
Oh my God, I love that. You better stop it. You stop it. You leave that in Canada. Oh my God,
it's in pieces right now. So, so don't bring it to Atlanta BrickCon. Okay.
No, don't do it because it's not going home to Canada.
Well, it's attached to the layout because it's going to be on a cord, so you won't be able to take it.
I know how to unplug stuff.
So.
I know I live in Florida. Come on.
So other than that, just working on getting ready for Brickhamany, run by this person right here, which is 3 weeks away. So that Thursday, I obviously won't be online. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll go live from Quebec. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so I'll be getting ready for that event. Lots to do. I just bought like cushion foam to put around a bunch of my figure. Like I've ripped the streets all out of my castle layout, and I've got all figs on them now. And now I'm looking to build like basically some foam holders to put those streets into, so that I can transport them separately, so I can save hours with not having to put all the figures out individually. I can just lay the streets down and
amen.
Hopefully save some time that way. So
I have a legitimate question for Jeff, whenever I can ask it.
Okay.
Hi there. Jeff,
yes.
Is there any consideration taking that bounce house and turning it into a GBC?
It's a little small for a GBC.
Well, just like one function, that you put, and then you connect it to the other GBCs.
Well, since you just asked me, yes, I've just considered it.
Okay.
But it's not something I would probably work on personally. But if anybody wants to build a bounce castle.
And he considered it and said no.
Well, not something I would work on, not part of my wheelhouse, but
hey, Trish.
All right.
It's an idea.
All right. Good deal.
It's not a good one. It's just an idea.
David just posted the info for Brickhamany.
There it is. Anybody nearby, go by there. That's awesome. Hello. What's up, man?
If I drove, how long would it take me to get there?
Probably about 16 hours.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's for me driving to. That's for me driving to Atlanta. So
that's just an extra 4 hours on my end. So almost.
Yeah. So I mean, it might be more direct because you don't have to go around lakes.
Oh.
Because it's straight up through New York State. So.
Oh, okay. Cool. Wish I could go.
The thing is, you're going to need to brush up on your French. This particular is for the Francophone community in Montreal. So.
Who speak mostly English anyhow.
But hey, don't tell him that.
I'm not going.
You have to work. Did y'all see there was a TikToker video that talking about the hurricane that went through, and there was one of the services said it's called Idalia or whatever, and this guy, he was like, Idalia. I'm gonna tell you something around here, that is Idalia. Because we live in Vidalia, and there ain't no other way to say that. We ain't French.
I really want to hear Bricksmith say "merci beaucoup" with his Florida accent.
Merci beaucoup.
And there you go, folks. There you go.
All right, Mr. Sandlin, I know you're working on your Crabulon. May we see your progress, sir?
Okay, one moment. Let me attach the claws.
The claws.
Yes.
I got a question for Mark real quick while he does that. Mark, have you always used a lamp that close, or as the age goes, so do the eyes? Question. ...
This room has crappy lighting, and
got it.
Sometimes if I'm digging around in a bin of pieces like this, I gotta get a lamp, kind of.
Got it. Magnifying glass? No, maybe.
No, it's not the magnifying glass issue. I don't have any trouble seeing stuff up close or whatever.
Okay.
It's the lack of light in this room.
Okay, no. Just asking for a friend. Thank you.
This room are these crappy spotlight things.
God, no.
And they cast harsh shadows all over everything. So.
Okay.
So does my ex-wife.
Dude, don't harsh my mellow.
Yes. So I've made some progress on the Crabulon.
Are you giving it a anyway, go ahead. It's like, what are you doing there? Are you snapping a glove? Okay, there we go. Very cool.
The Crabulons. It's going along pretty well.
It's getting big.
I like it. That's what she said.
It's very bulbous.
Sweet.
So I've got the top kind of snotted in like that.
Nice.
And then I've got it so that these bits lift up. And then you can lift the panel and there's your crabulons in there.
Nice.
Do they have a place to sleep, or is this like just a warship?
You know, I have not yet detailed the interior, but there's room in there to, you know, make some crabby lodgings.
Do crabs sleep? That's a good question.
Don't know.
I like it a lot.
Guy, sure, yeah. The crabulons could be the sworn enemies of Citron due to a misunderstanding over clarified butter. So,
yes.
Awesome. That's awesome. All
So
right.
I got a question for the chat real quick. Who built it better, Fazoom or Fleebnork?
Oh, dude, why are you gonna go there like that? That's just
It's just fun.
again, that's like asking which is your favorite child. You don't do that, man. You just don't.
Well, I did it.
you can't ask the question because we're the same individual, remember?
Oh, all right, okay.
There you go.
I also figured it was apples to oranges because he's building a thing and he's building a different thing. You guys aren't in the same class. Y'all are building two different class ships,
This
right?
is my thing I'm building. There we go. There's it.
Why don't you put
All
yourself
right,
on the big screen?
Dana, what's up in your world,
okay,
man?
Who? Me?
David Zool.
Dana who?
David, Mr. Zool. Ah, there you are.
That's right, baby.
Oh, somewhere in Erickson is crying.
I decided that after Mr. Erickson's
Obscene.
bonding of a crowbar with the Fortrex, I needed to go down into the vault and start bringing out all my Nexonite stuff. So I'm rebuilding Macy's roller here, which I had been scavenging for parts at one point in time. Of course, you got Clay's rumbler here. Working on just bringing it all out. I'm going to put it all together. And then I don't know if I'm going to do it this year or if I'm going to wait till February because Mark's birthday is in February and technically February 14th is National Nexonite Day. But I have this idea and I haven't decided when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do a Nexonite set review of the day every day until through the entire 3 seasons or 3 years of Nexonite sets and tag Mark on them every day. So that my goal is that he either blocks me or I just get the enjoyment of driving him nuts every day with a new Nexonite set. So that's going to happen. That's my plan. Don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So
I see a cycle of escalation taking place here.
Well, but see, the thing is, I mean, he can, if he smashes them all, that means he had to buy them all.
That's true.
I mean, that's always the thing with like when somebody says, well, they were burning your book. Well, they bought it, so they must have been. I got the money for them buying the book, and then they turn around and burn it. Okay, my bad. I'm still winning. So, but yeah, so I decided that, and I've been wanting to do this actually, and it's not so much just to troll the Ericksons, even though that's kind of like an added bonus. But I have been wanting. It's been since 2018 since we had Nexonite sets, so I figure it's time. It's been enough of a time span for me to go ahead and bring them out and enjoy them. So that's going to be happening. Other than that, I did get this in the mail, and I still keep forgetting to post that I got it. I did go ahead and buy a periodic Lego table.
You have the new one. I got the 3.0 or whatever it is. I got the one before that.
This is the 3.0, and it's actually numbered 73 out of 1,000. What?
Nice.
Not that matters. It'd have been cooler if it was number 72, but I'll take the 73. That's fine. So I got that, and then I need to start working on Space Babies Volume 3. I've got a new mega habitat that I designed the other day that came out of the blue. I woke up and I was like, oh, I've got to build this digitally. So I've got yellow has been rough draft, so I'm going to go ahead and get that working. And then
let me know if you want me to bring some pink up for you.
See, I can't. There's not enough parts to build the mega figure in pink. Otherwise, I would.
I got you.
The next color I'm hoping that they make enough parts for is green, which would be cool to them to do, because I really want to do all the original Lego colors, but it just ain't gonna happen. So,
hey, Brian Anderson wants to know where you got the periodic table, sir.
This is from
the mail.
No. It's their name is on here. It's well, their web address is Glasses might help.
Nope. Wait a minute. Shots fired. I gotta show this. Hang on while you're talking, because you were talking about Erickson.
Yeah.
He just tagged me and this on Instagram. All the UFOs. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. That's shots fired.
That's a shot fired in retaliation. It's at me, not at you, you jerk. But look at the crap. Look at all that crap right there.
I believe it's guilt by association, old gray brick.
It could be.
Maybe he's going through each one of you, and Mark Sandlin's going to be next. So,
all right. So the website is We Love What You Build, and it's actually just the acronym. So it's WLYB.com is the name of the website. And then what was cool that I thought was neat is that they also included this nice little bag of stickers. Which was neat. I mean, cool. Who doesn't love stickers? So, I mean, it's all sorts of fun stuff. Little words, their slogan, till the last brick standing. I mean, just little fun stuff. Shapes and whatnot. So, I figure probably by Atlanta BrickCon, I'll just start passing these out to random people or something like that. Because. There you go. Those Ericksons, we've always said that they were devious to begin with. It's coming to fruition, just to say. So, just saying. But the other last thing I got going on is I'm going to go ahead and start ordering parts for my new Hashima Cube, and I also started looking at some information on lighting. I'm definitely going to go with the group idea of having the lights doing some sort of thing behind them. So I've been looking up some controllers on that. So that's my next stage for that, is to plan that out, because then I can work and building around the lighting. Because Meredith told me, and she said, you don't want to build it and then try to go back and put lighting in. You need to build it with lighting in mind, because you don't want to have to take things apart to fit the lighting in. So that was what caused me to stop, put the brakes, get the lighting figured out before I start ordering parts to build. So that'll be next.
Dana, there was a gentleman there who literally brought his personal Lego room to the convention. It said my Lego room, and he brought like all of his parts. But Jason and I had an extended conversation. He had some really insightful things about lighting, which I didn't even understand. Some of them, they were going right over my head. But you might check with Jason. He was recommending some certain types of light connections and things like that. So maybe that's a conversation that would benefit you in your planning phase.
I will reach out to Jason on that, because I do know he's done lots of lighting. He did it for the Starry Night and stuff like that. So
yeah. All right. Since I got called out in being in competition, thank you, Bricksmith. I will defend my own honor. This is what I've been building. I think I showed a little bit of it the other day. This triangular spaceship here. I'm working on landing gear, and I've got the back door and hatch, which the hatch pops up, and then the ramp pops out. There.
Okay.
Loading patience.
Is that an 8x16 tile?
It's got VTOL. So those turn. Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Was an 8x16 tile I just saw there? For the ramp? For the ramp?
Yes.
Okay, show it again.
I have a ton of those, by the way, in different colors. But here's the thing. So this is why I did shave. This was pointy before, and I shaved that off the fin back and everything.
I like that.
But one of the reasons that it takes me a while to build is because I have to make it playable. So this is kind of cool. This came together. If you pop this, these two studs up in the back. This slides forward and off. And then if you then pop this out in the back here, it will open up.
Stop it.
Play value.
Stop it.
The transformer, basically.
So yeah, you can open up and now you have full access to the interior.
I am extremely happy about that, to the point where you don't have any idea.
I have to do it. I can't fake it out. I have to build. So I've got to build this weekend. We'll probably be finishing the interior of this and then the final outside details. So, but it is an odd angle. It is not a normal Lego angle to deal with. And so it has been a pain in the butt to finish and everything. So, but this is like a landing craft to pick up all the astronauts that have been hurt through the Crabulon invasion or something. I don't know, but
I respect that.
Yeah,
because Chris and Mark can't work on a project without incorporating them into each other. It's just
I know how that is. Yeah,
that's right. Mark's video was much more popular on TikTok, so I have to steal his thunder. So
you guys should submit together to Lego ideas.
I mean, they should.
I don't know if you read.
I mean, you mean he make a set of space and I make a set of space, and then Lego sells that as exclusives? Wow.
But he could do the Crabulon, and you're the patch him up after the Crabulon invasion. I mean,
it's like two warring factions. Like
that's right. You got it.
I should have a laser gun with a big melted butter tank.
But then after all said and done with, Mark comes in with UFOs.
Yeah, I know. And then I get this other front coming at me. So
well, I do have to note or make a point here, though, that Moto did mention that he can shut Mark down and could break Mark. So we need to make sure that gets brought up in the future.
Yeah. By the way, that's a good point. Friendship Timber starts tomorrow, and also Ship Timber starts tomorrow if you haven't started. So the good thing is it won't take but a little bit of pink, and I could turn that Explorer that I made into a friendship. So I might even do that. I don't know. Anyway. It's Short Timber for Nick. Hello, Nick. Good to have you.
Nick is in the house.
Nick is here. All right, everybody. Well, we are 20. Oh, I was just 20 after. So thank y'all. We had a great viewership. If you're here and you haven't subscribed, hit the likes and do all the things. We could hit 600 here in the next 6 months. So for subscribers, that would be fantastic.
We should offer a Crabulon to the 1,000th subscriber.
That's right. I will offer one of Mark's Crabulons to anyone.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks.
Is the bounce house going to move?
Oh, is he making the bounce house move? Hang on. You're doing that with your hand.
I don't know about the motion of the ocean right now.
I need to do some better work. It's just basically like this happening, and it's just not enough of a movement. So version 1.0.
Now it's getting there. Yeah, baby.
Is that two versions of your sig fig? You're having fun. Never. I'm not going there.
I need the magic fingers bed made that with that set up now.
I needed a figure to test it out on, so that was the one I used.
You know what, Jeff? I think take out those 2x2 rounded tiles and just do studs on the bottom and the top.
Yeah, okay, I'll give that a shot.
Because you want to keep that net to be flexible. So just do studs. Just do studs.
Yeah, I'll give that a shot.
Yeah. Or you could just give up. Just give up Lego, the whole thing. Just give it all up. Let's just give it.
So you don't want me to come down in February?
I'm saying leave the castle guy alone.
If you bring coffee crisps, yes. I don't care about anything.
I see. So
listen, all I need is Jeff. Jeff, come on down, buddy. Don't listen to them. It's castle time.
There'll be spooning galore. That's all I know. Spooning galore.
All right. Hey, guys, we got to run. Thank y'all for joining us. This has been a great show. Have a great night. Meredith Pink Wheels, we're thinking about you and glad you're feeling better. And hope you will rejoin us here soon. Everybody have a great night. Be kind to your neighbor. Be awesome and build awesome. Good.